Full-time reaction to Aberdeen 1 Celtic 1. I've got Martin here with me to go over it. Martin, obviously another 2 drop points. Disappointing afternoon, would you make it?
Gave me 2 halves for me. First half I thought we were dominant, and it just sometimes feels with Celtic we're not ruthless enough when we get those chances, you know, almost as if another one will come. So going at half time thinking, how we know 1-0 up? I think Aberdeen are the only team in the whole of the campaign so far to go a full half without getting in the opposition box. And that for me summed up the first half. We just penned them in. And I thought Bernardo's chance in particular just had to chip the keeper. We've hit the woodwork a couple of times. So without being spectacular, without being brilliant, we've played the whole of the first half in their half. And I thought, right, it's inevitable, a goal's going to come. But what a second half. I mean, they were so much better than us for large periods in the second half. And I thought it was almost kamikaze at times. You know, defensively we started to make mistakes. We were lacking in confidence. We were clearing the ball out the pitch when, you know, if somebody like a CCV was in there, he would have just turned the opposite way and retained possession. But, you know, that second half I thought Aberdeen were better than us, and we really lacked a bit of conviction in the second half, and of course made the substitutions, but I'm not sure any of them made a huge difference, and it just felt a bit predictable, a bit stale, and I wasn't confident going into that 6 minutes. I thought, you know, there's as much chance of Aberdeen nicking the winner as there was us, so overall really disappointed.
Yeah, I thought in the first half, as you say, lots of openings, lots of chances, and I know that's something you've talked about, getting more out the wide players. I thought we were in good positions again out wide at times. Palmer particularly, I thought, constantly wanting to come back inside. There's one late in the first half where we're almost on the break, which was rare because Aberdeen had came up a bit, and we get in behind, he's in behind the 2 defenders, and he wants to cut back onto his right foot, and the chance just fizzles out. There's so many opportunities like that where the final ball was lacking, the final decision was just really, really poor. And you think about the second half, we get the goal. Kuhn's first goal for the club takes a wee deflection. The goal last week takes a deflection. Didn't really create an awful lot. In the second half, other than the goal, we didn't create an awful lot as well. And again, this is against Ross County last week, who have been struggling. Aberdeen not in great shape at all either. That's a real concern, the lack of chances we're creating in it.
And I think the width again today, because you talked about Palmer, and he wants to just keep coming back inside. He wants to play on his right foot despite the fact he's playing the left. And I thought Bernabe, you know, we're all desperate for him to do well because he's really not convinced the fans, and we're seeing him as being the weak link going into the game today. And I thought Bernabe, be that person to go wide, to give Palmer the chance to at least play it to and get it back in, play a wee 1-2. But Bernabe at times was wanting to come inside as well. I was thinking, for goodness sake, we're not getting any width, we're just becoming narrow, and it's all becoming too predictable through the middle. And then on the other side, Abada very, very sporadically shows just wee glimmers, you know, and he likes to do that wee ball under the legs. But again, he was struggling to hit the byline, so that continues to be the frustration, that we keep wanting to come back inside. And then of course you've got O'Reilly, McGregor and Bernardo at times in the middle ready to receive the ball and very, very capable of creating a chance, but there's just not enough for me with regards to going out wide, hitting the byline, getting those crosses in for Kyogo, because again Kyogo today didn't perform particularly well, but he's not getting the service.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the second half obviously did get really stretched. Been about our equaliser just after that. It was end-to-end stuff. Aberdeen looked like every time they punted the ball forward they were getting on the end of a chance almost. There's a vulnerability about this Celtic team as well. I don't think there's any getting away for that, and that's a concern going forward because we've played more than half a season now, and we've had these performances like last week where we've maybe got a win but it's been unconvincing. People haven't been happy. People are obviously not happy today. More drop points, the fallout for the transfer window. But there's a real vulnerability I feel about that team, and I think you can see it watching them week in, week out.
You start with Joe Hart at the back and had a couple of brilliant saves that kept us in the game, but then he started to look really shaky, and he was clearing the ball out, slicing the ball, his distribution started to become terrible. And then defensively, you don't often see defenders getting taken off, but of course today we've taken off Rocky, and it was the right thing to do because his performance was deteriorating rapidly. And we also take off Bernabe as well, who again, his performance in the game was deteriorating as well. So after a relatively good start to the game, not spectacular but better than he has been, you're thinking, gee, we're going to have to change that as well. And then we put Scales out to the left, or he starts covering on the left hand side, and again he started to look ropey in that position. He wasn't confident. So once the defence starts to struggle, midfielders having to come a bit deep, and you then see a big gap between the midfielders and the front three. But I just thought that game we were kind of hanging on there, and if you'd lost it you probably couldn't have argued against it despite the dominance in the first half.
Yeah, obviously the elephant in the room is the transfer business. That's a Celtic team, when you talk about likes of Nawrocki, who's new, Bernabe, who we know isn't good enough from what we've saw from him. There's a lot of positions across the pitch where it looks like we don't have enough quality. where do we go for here? How do we get better? Because as I say, we've played more than half a season. We've been constantly looking for the shoots of growth and improvement, and it's never really materialised. January was the chance to give the team a boost, give them a shot in the arm, get 2 or 3 quality players in. We've missed the chance to do that. You've got to understand why people are frustrated.
I mean, we're going to need every bit of luck in the world, you know, whether it be deflections, whether it be players being fit. Obviously the Hatate and the CCV news has set us back massively because they're 2 our better players, but we're going to need loads and loads of luck going into the second half of the season. We need our best players fit, performing well, and then the periphery players coming in and making an impact. And I wonder how much pressure there was on Rodgers to put the 2 new boys on the bench today, to say, because quite often you don't see new signings right away, and of course they're no household names, they're no spectacular signings, they're no the guys that we were hoping that the club would bring in, but he's put them on the bench, and I think a bit of pressure again to get them on the pitch, and of course they've been involved in the goal, but neither of them were brilliant today.
See, when you look at the bench though, you look at the bench and those 2 are the only players you think, well, maybe they could come on and make a difference. The rest of the benches,
aye, players you couldn't rely on, and of course we're bringing them on because the players on the pitch weren't performing, so I think maybe 8 out the starting 11 you're thinking, yep, he's good enough and I hope he's fit for the run-in, but as you say, we tend to carry 2 or 3 players and then those weaknesses at times let us down. But today I was just really surprised. You know, that's an Aberdeen team on their knees, down in the bottom half of the table, managerless, and I know that sometimes happens when the manager moves on, the team get a wee bit of lift, but after that first half performance you're thinking, right, it's a guaranteed win, just go out and get that first goal. And then how Aberdeen came out and found that energy and we went backwards is really frustrating and disappointing.
Aye, absolutely. We've got it all on. We've got Easter Road on Wednesday, of course, where we've got a brilliant record to rely on. That's it for full-time reaction here from Aberdeen. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts on the game below. We'll see you on Tuesday for the build-up to that game at Easter Road. Thank you.